Hey, what's good, people? What's good? Like a book club. Comment is another episode. That's the way love goes. And of course, it's me, Maurice Savage, and KG Williams. And of course, I brought some good friends with me on along the way. Got my little sister on here too, so y'all fellas be careful. You feel me? But anyway, you feel me? On this journey, you feel me? I bring some friends with me, discuss these love problems. You feel me? Get rid of all toxic behavior and go about love the right way. So we're gonna start off, go around the bend. Shout out to my man Jack. Thanks for always coming back and tell the people what you got going on since the last time you've been on the show.
So much same old, raising up the babies, getting them coached up. It's football season again. Y'all know how I get down with that. Shouts out to the STEM Braves folks. Champs, 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 champs. So we'll be doing this thing and let's rock, y'all. Let's rock.
Okay. Next up, you feel me? One of my favorite ladies in the world, Q. You feel me? Always coming with some positive energy and something different. Go ahead, tell the people what's up, Q. What's back going on since the last time you've been on?
Audio not on?
She heard you. Your mute button.
Oh, my bad. Thank you. I just got it. Hey guys, nothing going on too much. Can't wait for football. Go Ravens. That's it.
Okay. All right. Next up, you feel me? Big Dre in the person, in the flesh. Say what's up to the people, Dre, and what you got going
Hey,
on.
what's going on, everybody? I ain't got too much going on. Just chilling. Just like we'll say, I like to appreciate everybody for tuning in every Thursday. You know what I mean? Like y'all do. We appreciate all the support. You know what I mean? All the love. You know what I mean? Just keep it coming.
Okay. And last but not least, you feel me? We got another generation on here. My little sister right here. She gonna be speaking for the people that's in there and things like that. So say what's up to the people, Shanera, and let the people know what you got going on. If you got any entrepreneurship things like that.
Hey guys, no entrepreneurship, anything of that nature going on. Maurice, I don't know if you know, but I work in IT. So I'm doing that and I'm studying for a new certification so I can get some more money. Other than that, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Big things.
Big things, man. So without further ado, we're gonna go around the bend, start with Jack, Q, Dre, and then Shanera. Then we're gonna finish last. Topic number one: what is the role of a mother in your opinion? Because some people have their own definition, and there's a lot of toxic definitions. And I would never think that would be a toxic definition of being a mother. So starting off with you, Jack, what is your definition of the role of a mother?
Well, mothers are definitely key to balancing out a child, be it son or daughter. But moms usually provide that nurturing aspect of upbringing, kind of sort of that soft, sensitive side. Not saying that your mom still can't be firm or stern in her upbringing, but again, moms are a little more balanced in their attack in terms of raising children. In terms of your daughters, the mom is the first example for the daughter in terms of how she's supposed to, conduct herself on a day to day. As far as the relationship between mother and son, that's more so for the son to learn expectation of what he is to semi expect from a woman. Also, how he's supposed to treat a woman as well. So I feel like moms are very important in terms of balance in that in the upbringing. Also, from a disciplinary aspect, most dads are no nonsense. But what I find, like I'm old school. Like my mom ain't really play no shit either. So sometimes mothers can be forceful in their speech, but most moms will give you the whole they fuss you out. But then once they realize they broke you down, they more so gonna come back and reiterate like I only had to do that because kind of give you the why versus the father, the counterpart, he's just gonna cuss you out and that's gonna be that. He said what he said and we done with that chapter. But a mom also gives you the balance on both ends of the coin. She gonna lay you out and lay down low, but she gonna come back and make sure that you good when y'all walk away from that conversation.
I like that answer right there, especially the part about balance. So go ahead, Q, with you being a mother of some beautiful children. You tell me the role that you play.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I'm a nurturer. I provide. But I mean, I don't know if that's a role of a mom per se. Like parent, right? Like your parents are supposed to provide for you. Like your parents are supposed to nurture you and give you the lessons. So I don't like know if that's a mom role, but okay,
No,
I
it
guess.
is. It is cute. It's most definitely a mom rule. It is.
Oh, okay. So I mean, okay. I don't know if that's a gender specific or a like I don't know, but um I just, I provide for my kids. I nurture my kids. I try to give them life lessons, stuff that I've been through, stuff that I've witnessed and noticed, and try to guide them to, make the right decisions and with also allowing them to be who they are and not trying to pressure them as to who I want them to be or my vision for them. That's pretty
Can I
much
say
it.
something
So
real
next
quick to
up,
what
my
people
little
said?
sister. What about you?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes. Of
go ahead.
course you can say something.
Oh, I was saying to add on to it, something that a lot of people misconstrue when they say the word provision, like is a mother supposed to provide? Yeah. I think where our hang up is provision gets misconstrued always to like finance. You can provide direction. You can provide an idea. You can provide a solution. It doesn't have to be monetary. So when women get caught up on the word about provision, women can provide too. It don't always have to be about money per se. Not saying that's what you were saying, Q, but you know how
No, I
sometimes,
get you.
like you
You
were saying, I
absolutely
want to.
right.
Yeah. So I mean, provision can sometimes be misconstrued, but it's not limited to just finance. When you talk about
Okay.
providing for a child, a man can provide money and his time and all that kind of things. Mom provides, nurturing. So yes, absolutely, provision is to both parents. Absolutely, both parents.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I'm a single parent. So some people would say I play both roles, but I don't fall into that because I don't feel I'm not a man. So I can't be a father. I can't teach them what a father needs to teach their son and their daughter because I'm not a man. So I never say I play both roles. I'm just a parent, right? That does what parents need to do. So, like, I don't know if that is like role specific, right? Like, if a man, if he's a single parent, he's going to do what he needs to do for his child, regardless of, I don't think it's a role. Like, I don't think it's a mom role and a dad role, but that's just me.
All right. So next up, my little sister. Now this should be I should hear a huge answer from you because your relationship with our mom is almost best friend type vibe. So you feel me? How important is mother's role to you? Shall I say?
Um, it's very important. Especially for me being a woman. She helps me learn how to operate as a black woman in America, which is really important. Um, Now I will agree. I think his name Jack. Well,
Yeah.
okay, I agree with
Yeah.
him. I believe that mothers are that balancing factor, right? Mothers are nurturers. They can be providers. Q, I know you said that they can't be gender specific roles, which I agree to an extent. Because like you said, as a single parent, sometimes you do have to take on both of those roles. And if you consider providing in a financial aspect, then for a male, then you're taking on that secondary role, right? But for in your case, you're not really saying like in that way. So I still agree with you, like I said, to an extent. Um, but I know like speaking from experience, my mom is my voice of reason. She calms me down when I'm upset. My dad, not so much. He gonna meet me there. I don't need you to meet me there. I need you to bring me down because I need you to bring back to thinking with logic. Because as women, we're very emotional creatures. So sometimes you need that other person just to be like, okay, I get what you're saying. I understand you're upset, but you need to calm down right now because you need to relax, so that you can understand fully what's going on. Um, and yeah, like I think mothers have like a really important role. I'm not downing father's roles at all. They're equally as important. And I think for a mother's role in a son's life is to help him understand, okay, listen, you can play the game, right? But you also gonna, when you find that person, you got to know how to treat her, and you got to learn from me how to treat her. How you treat me, you should be treating women the same way. I think that's really important because women, how I see them treat their mom, mm-mm. If you treating her like dirt, I don't want you because you don't respect her. That's the head honcho. She's the head of the household. If you have both parents, she's the head of the household. At ultimately, granted, dad might bring in money, he might be a provider, whatever the case may be. Who cares? But she runs the background stuff that makes the world go round in your house. She makes sure your house is good at the end of the day. Sets the table, makes sure food is done, makes sure laundry is done, all of that. So I think they have equally important roles. And my mom, she important to me. So that's my spiel.
Can I say two things though?
I
I
like that.
think that was two
Incredible.
different questions. Like how important is a mom or what the role the mom plays. Like that's two different questions.
You're right, but she.
Well,
You're right, but she
I
explained.
incorporated
Oh
both.
no, I'm not saying you.
She
I'm just
explained. Hold on,
saying
my bad. My bad. Sis.
I was just saying I incorporated
She
that she's
basically
important,
answered.
that mother was important to me, but
Yeah,
I was
both.
also incorporating the role part as well. That's what I was just
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. So next up is you, Dre. Tell me the role of a mother, and you can also do how my sister did. You feel me? Tell me how important your mother role is for in your life. So go ahead.
I mean, pretty much, I believe a mother role is to nurture you, uh, teach you how to interact with females, also show you how a woman's supposed to treat a man as well. And I mean, she's
Mm-hmm.
going to teach you. She's going to provide certain things. Maybe not be monetarily. Depends on what how the situation is, whether you have both parents or not. But she definitely going to provide in certain aspects, whether it's knowledge, education, whatever it may be. But far as the relationship, I have my mother. Me and my mother real cool. We real tight. I pretty much could talk to her about any and everything. And it's been like that ever since I was a kid. She always made me feel like no matter what it is, if I need somebody to talk to, you know what I mean, I could come to her, talk to her, whatever. So I really appreciate that role, you know what I mean. But it is funny though because my mother actually was a disciplinary, even though I had both parents. I was terrified of my mother more than my father. But that's pretty
Okay,
much
not
it.
bad. So you up, cuz you up next. You can tell the importance of cookie and definitely explain what a rudder mole what a rudder's mole is
I don't know
in
if
your
I
book.
can tell. I mean, to say what the role of a mother is. I could tell you what my mom was for me. You know, disciplinary. Supporter. Um, just taught me about just taught me about life, man. Because her and my father wasn't together. And I had a guy that was in my life when I was young, since I can remember, all the way up until I was like 17, I think,
Mhm.
or whatever. So he was like my father figure, but mom's
that was your
everything, man.
mom's special friend.
I need some advice. Yeah, yeah. They ain't never get married or nothing and shit. Um,
That's cool.
but I really looked at him like a father figure because he was all I seen, growing up from the time, like I said, like I was 5 until I was like 17
Mhm.
or whatever. But mom's give me advice. Um, she not gonna. Her and my grandmother always taught me right is right, wrong is wrong. Give a damn who you is or whatever. So if I'm wrong, she gonna tell me. She gonna let me know I'm wrong. But she might give me some advice on how I can straighten it up or something, or how I can go the right way about it and shit or whatever. Just man, like, and especially ass whippings, man. Like man, like my mother, I could talk to her now, man. Her like the coolest of friends. I could talk to my mother about anything or whatever. But growing up, she did separate that line between her being my mom and not not a friend.
There you go.
Or whatever. And when I fucked up, I got that ass whipping. And I can honestly say now that I'm growing, I was doing dumb stuff. So moms would straighten me out about that. Like I said, any type of situation I could talk to her about, man. And get some advice from her. So that's what my mom was to me.
Okay. Great answers, of course, by everybody, man. I ain't gonna lie, sis, you stole the show with that damn strong ass answer.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, you stole the show, Chanel, with that strong ass answer. But for me, what I would say the role of a mother is, I would say just as strong as a man's role. You feel me? You could be a leader. You feel me? As far as what everybody was saying, teaching, guiding, giving knowledge. You can also be protectors. There's a lot of women out here who know how to fight, who know how to use a gun to defend themselves and defend their family. And you often hear it a lot in the Wild Kingdom that when you mess with one of the animal babies, the mother goes wild. They don't talk about the dad, they talk about how the mom is. And I'm pretty sure if an animal doing that, these beautiful women on earth doing the same exact thing for their children. You hear women say it all the time. Don't play with me about my children. And it always looked as females are probably a little bit better in that role because females love their children more than they love themselves a lot. You feel me? So that's why I would say their role is companionship. Companionship, my bad. Teaching you how to be a man, going into this world. Teaching women how to be ladies going into this world. And most of the time, it's your mom who's seeing you doing bullshit and telling you getting the right way. Where your dad probably would be a friend about that shit. So I say the mother role is definitely incredible, definitely strong. Just as strong as a man, probably even stronger because of the fact that you can die during childbirth. You got to have a healthy body to feed your baby from giving the milk and all that type of shit. So I feel like the role is just as strong as a man, probably even better. So that's how I feel about that.
And that's the beauty of it, man. It's our differences, and I think people is missing that nowadays and shit. Guys bring stuff to the table, and women got what they do and bring to the table. Whatever.
Yeah, I think that's often missing. People don't realize that, and they just be on that shit. This is what you're supposed to do, and this is what I'm supposed to do, instead of looking at it down the middle. But go ahead, Jack. What you about to say? Look,
before we do go to the next topic, I will say this: for any child, in order to be the best version of their child, to get the most out of their child, the child needs extreme balance. They need a full return of the parental coalition. That means from the mom and the dad. That's the only way. Now, I'm not saying if you have one parent or the other that the child won't turn out good. That's not what I'm saying. But in most cases, people that come from two-parent situations, where they go the line with a united front, you typically get more out of them. Now, I'm saying when I say united front, that don't mean the parents. If two parents have to coexist, meaning the mother and father don't make it, they're not going to penalize the child by being at odds. Well, I wanted this done this way, or I want it done that way. That's not what I'm saying. If I can come to a mutual agreement with that woman and say, look, these our children, fuck what we got going on. We need to raise them correctly. So they need to know that at all times, I got your back, you got mine. So we got to stand in unison with that. That's how you get the most out of your children. So I made it a point to say that before we move on to the next topic, because moms get a lot of credit. But as we go into the next topic, we'll kind of dive a little deeper, because then we're going to talk about the dads, and that shit is a little different.
I'm gonna let you answer. I'm gonna let you answer. Q, you got something you want to say before I go to? Well, you good? No, I was asking Q. Did she have something to say? It looked like she wanted to say something at first. Unless you good.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. All right, Jack. We'll start with you first, and you feel me? Then we're gonna go with Shanera next, and then Q, and Drake. Tell me the role of a father. You feel me? Because you was about to go into it, so you might as well go ahead and finish it off. Tell me your idea what the role of a father is.
All right. So essentially, some of those things are the same, but we start with protection and provision. What exactly are those two things? When you talk about protection from a father versus a mom, it's totally different. It's from a totally different aspect. As a father, you have to strategically protect your kids. It's not just, most people think when you say protection, meaning like physical, yeah, you can whip somebody's ass or shoot them with a gun. No, a lot of that comes with planning, knowing, you know what I mean? Like knowing where your children are, what their schedules are. Not even just with your children. As a father, you still have an obligation to the person that brought them into the world, their mother. So you got to protect the entire family. So when you talk about fatherhood, that shit is that's way more in depth. Like Shanera brought up the point about how the mom has to, like, you need somebody to kind of talk you down versus the father would try to meet you there. Well, that's literally our role. Our role is literally to protect you, not just from danger, but protect you from your damn self. So that's why a father is always like, well, dad, something happened and he on 100. That's his job. He's supposed to be on 100 because we're charged with protecting you with literally within an inch of your life. So if you have an issue, my job is to bring solvency to that issue. And I'm not going to be calm about it because I feel like you're in imminent danger. That's one. Two, you presented me with a problem, and fathers are fixers. So again, protection from a mom is not the same as protection from a dad. Like a mom can nurture that situation, and like she gave the example, would talk her down to have a conversation with her. A dad is going to have that conversation, but it ain't going to go nothing like with the conversation you have with your mom. Because with your mom, it's going to be talked. It's going to be what's the word? It's going to be like, yeah. I don't want to say dad is not going to have compassion, but he's going to be like real rough around the edges. Maurice, you brought up the point about how women are emotional, and that's very true. A mom is gonna explore the emotions of the child in that moment. A father, he'll check the emotions, but we're more logical. We're gonna say, okay, this is what makes sense. I understand how you feel, but this is the reality of the situation. So you can feel a little upset. He's gonna understand that to a degree. A father's job is to push you out of that situation to say, like, you can't wallow in this shit right now. Like, you have to keep moving. Like, we're logical creatures, and again, our job is to protect you in total. So that includes protecting you from yourself. So provision, of course, obviously monetarily, going out, making wages to feed you, clothe you, pay for your education, that sort of thing. Obviously that. But provision is not just that. Again, providing you with strategy to solve your own problems. As your father, I'm not going to fix all your problems. When you become an adult, my job is to fill your toolbox up with strategy on how to benefit yourself when it's time to. Be it son or daughter. Teach you how to be, tougher, stronger in terms of emotional. All those things. Being a father is not an easy job. The same way it's not for a mom, being a father is it's not an easy job at all. Because when things go wrong, in most cases, when a mother has her kids and she's struggling, what's the first question they ask? Well, where they father at? It's never the other way around. It's never the other way around. If it's a single dad and he struggles, oh well, he just struggled with that child. Nobody's asking where the mom is. So let's be clear on that. It's an equal job in terms of what you have to do as a parent, but a father's job is definitely underrated in terms of when they say whose job is more important. I don't think one is more important than the other, but being a father gets overlooked a lot. I will say that.
All right. So what about you, Shanera? What's your definition of a role of a father in your thoughts?
So for me, I think that the role of a father is, like, when I think of a dad, protection, right? Provider. Now, when I say provider, I'm not necessarily talking about money, because my dad, he provided in a way of money, right? Awesome, great. I'm not knocking you for that, but that's not what I needed in the time of need. I needed love. I need you to be there, spend that time, right? That's what, for me, that's what I think is the role of a father, because I think they get so caught up in, okay, I gotta make this money, I gotta make sure I do X, Y, and Z, this and the third, whatever. But then they miss completely. Dag, I miss little TJ practice. I miss my daughter's dance recital. Like, because you're so worried about providing monetarily. Wait, we still need love too, especially daughters. Like, it is hard for women growing up now, which is why we got all this toxicness that's going on, because I feel like some parents, I'm gonna say parents in general, some parents have not shown their kids that type of love that they need to receive in order to give it out to somebody else. I feel like, with dads, they help teach their daughters self-love,
Okay.
right? Given you are beautiful, right? Now, granted, I can get that from my mom, but it don't hit the same with my mom. Coming from my dad, that's where it's gonna hit. How he's supposed to teach me how a man is supposed to treat me. Now, granted, he also supposed to teach me a game so that game don't get rain on me too. But also letting me know, like helping me create those boundaries with people, but also with men. Letting them know, yo, you cross this line right here, you gone. I'm not. There's no second chances. Like we're just not doing that. Um, so I think that's the most important, and that's what the role is in my opinion.
I ain't gonna lie, man. You hitting home runs tonight. You hitting home runs tonight. You hitting home runs tonight under the age of 30 with these strong ass answers. All right, next up, Q. What is in your definition? What is the role of a father?
I mean, I'm a kind of put it like how Maurice did with his mom. Like, I can only say what my dad did for me. And my mom and dad were best friends. They weren't together, but they were best friends up until my dad came. So I always say, like, my mom taught me how to treat people, but my dad taught me about people. He taught me how to watch people. He taught me how to look at game. He taught me how to, pay attention to, you know, everybody that every man is smiling your face, pay attention to that. Just certain things to just look at and and to live my best life, and be you. Um so yeah, my dad taught me a lot of lessons. Um so yeah, I guess like she said as well, um you also want that love, and he's you know out there, but mine was there and he was around, and like I don't know, my dad was a lot to me. So um and because they were best friends, it just made the relationship even better.
Okay, I like that. All right, you up? You this one should hit home, Dre. I know you're gonna have a great answer for this one. So, what about you, Dre? You being a father and the relationship that you had with your father. Tell me the role of a father in your definition.
Definitely to be a provider, definitely a protector in all aspects when it comes to your mental, your physical, spiritual. You know what I mean? That's definitely a disciplinary because normally when it comes to mother and father, normally your mother is going to be the one you're going to normally run to when you crying, you hurt yourself, oh poor baby, it's going to be okay, yada yada yada. Normally your father going to be like, look here, boy, get up, you all right. You know what I mean? He's going to teach, like, they toughen you up, teach you how to be a man. He also supposed to teach you how to handle yourself as a man, how to carry yourself, how to conduct yourself when you out in public, how to interact with people. You know what I mean? How to think logically and not be emotional. Because that's a father job, is to have you think with your mind and not with your emotions. Because sometimes we all human. Sometimes our emotions do get the best of us. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's your job as a father to be like, look here, and sit you down and talk to you and reason with you and have you thinking of it in a whole different total aspect. And it's crazy because I always had my father in my life. But as a kid, I was more close with my mother than I was my father. But as I got older, I really started appreciating my father even more because of the sacrifices that he made to make sure that I was good. Like my father went above and beyond to make sure that I had. Like I said, if it weren't for him, who knows where I would have been at? You know, what I mean, my father passed away like a couple years ago. But yeah, man. I mean, I think like Jack said, a father role is just as important as a mother role when it comes to raising a child, especially a boy. I can't really speak too much of it as a female aspect. But when it comes to boys, they definitely need their fathers in their life, and that's why I am the way I am with my son because, hey, I just want the best for him.
Well, to be honest, Dre, the last part of what you said, and Mauritius sister even said it. But the thing that one thing, let me say this. One thing I did leave out. I'm a very spiritual person and religious person. I don't know about everybody else's background, but fathers are also prayer covers. Like, I mean, I don't want to get too deep and preachy with that, but fathers give identity. They're the priest of their home. That's what it says in the Bible. I strongly believe in that because sometimes you gotta be they got a term now that they use, they say emotionally intelligent. That's something that somebody came up with that terminology. I grew up on the saying father knows best. And I do agree with that to an extent because sometimes moms will hit the panic button when they're trying to calm a child, especially a male child, to kind of piggyback on Dre what he was saying. A father can come right into a situation, dive head first into it because we know that if we stand still, the more we let something linger, we're not going to get any closer to resolving that issue, whatever it is, big or small. We're not going to get no closer to resolving that. So I feel like fathers being not downing a mom, but fathers being the stronger being in terms of like the physical part, but also the emotional part, because we know how to calm shit down when we realize that our child is in need of us in that moment from a mental aspect as well as emotional. And sometimes we got to step outside of ourselves. To piggyback on what your sister was saying, your father that's the first relationship for a daughter. That's the first relationship she has with a man. So to recognize this how you're supposed to treat me, all the things she said is extremely true. I got one daughter, and she can basically get anything she want out of me. But we have to understand that, listen, while I'm teaching you these lessons, you need to be picking them up. You need to be sponging everything that I'm telling you. Now, I'm not trying to damage her in the process by teaching her to be independent because that's not realistic. Men need women, women need men. But the one thing you should always be concerned with is somebody doing right by you. Because the first person you learn to respect in life is who? Yourself. So if a man and woman can, and they learn that, you're supposed to learn that from your father. Your father gives you identity being a son or a daughter. The first person, if you learn to have self-respect, if you let people walk over top of you, that's always going to be the pattern in your life. But the first person to teach you that lesson should always be your father. Always.
So go ahead, cuz. I mean, we know the big things, provide and protect, whatever. But like everybody was just saying, man, it's hard to come last at everything. It's because y'all said a lot, but just having those life lessons, man, and teaching, and and having those teachings, whether it's the son, especially the son, or whatever, or the daughter, and telling his daughter how like Jack said, that's the first relationship that the daughter has is with her father, and he shows her how it's supposed to be done when it comes to that aspect or whatever. But like I said, provide, protect, for the like, especially for like a little boy, him teaching his son or whatever, that's like extremely important or whatever, because it's dangerous out here for men and women, but it's like especially dangerous for men or whatever. Like women usually didn't walk down the street. A man can walk down the street and then 4 dudes come out of nowhere and just jump him for no reason and shit. Shit like that usually don't happen to a lot of women, or whatever. And that's why it's important for him to teach them pitfalls and them lessons and stuff, man. I can't really say a lot because my father and my mother, they weren't together, and he was living out of state and stuff like that, so I ain't see him a lot or whatever. But what I was missing was a lot of stuff that I learned from my mom, and then I learned like all my shit from being in the street and shit or whatever. Like I tell Dre and them all, tell y'all all the time, like I got a lot of lessons and stuff like that supposed to came from my father, from my close homeboys and stuff. Or whatever. I mean, man, I'm telling you, man, we're a different circle, man, and dudes is intelligent. And we ain't never been wrapped up in no dumb stuff, man. And we live in Baltimore, and there's a lot of dumb stuff to get wrapped up in. So, that's what I was saying. As far as the father being there, I ain't had mine around, unfortunately. But it's important, man, because you gotta teach that wisdom. Pops gonna teach you some stuff and life lessons or whatever that's gonna have you think in a certain way, think logically instead of coming out with your emotion all the time or whatever, and that's important.
All right, man. Great answers as always. For me, what I would say the role of a father is the first thing, man, being the top leader. I mean, even though I said in my original answer for ladies, their leadership role is just as high, but I'm just saying you're supposed to outweigh the woman in that role. I mean, your main job that everybody just said on this panel was protect. That's your main thing. Protect yourself. You feel me? Protect your wife, protect your children. That's the first thing you're supposed to do overall, and just be a real straight up stand up man. The whole definition of what a man is, that's what you should be. It should never be no half-assing or excuse on why you shouldn't be stepping up to the plate. You want the responsibility of being with a woman. I mean, just because you're in a relationship with a woman don't mean you just in a relationship. You are now taking on responsibilities, taking on that life, taking on the duties that comes on in a relationship. Then you have kids with her. That's more responsibility. So if you want to take on all those responsibilities, you have to be man up and do your thing. Have the job. Pay for what you need to pay for. Have every type of relationship that you need to have with your children. Shanira, you hit it right on the dot. Where I needed my father there financially and for him to be tough, but I needed you to hear my emotional side and show me what life is, not just the tough way. And I had that problem. I had that problem with my daughter, where a lot of females that I was talking to, and even my baby mother was on something. You always giving your daughter tough love like she's one of the boys and all that. And that's one thing. It's good that I'm in that protective stage, but I gotta do like how my sister just said. That's not how you go about that. She's your daughter. She's not your son. So you gotta take them different ways. So it's good to hear different people give you different perspectives on how you should go about it. But take all that advice and do it the right way. A lot of times people want to give their own definition what a father is. I paid my child support. I don't have to be in my child's life. That's not. All you're doing is paying a bill. You feel me? Your child will tell you later on that they needed you.
Sometimes it's even more important to give them that information and that knowledge than it is to be given the money.
And then this, as far as the role of a
not
father.
to say that's not important too.
But another thing is a role of father. I hear a lot of women say this all the time. Weekend dads. That shouldn't even be a name for guys. Weekend dads. That means you only come around on the weekends. Or holiday dads. Or birthday dads. No, you're going to take on the role of being a father, whether you're in the relationship or not. You're a father. Take care of your responsibilities. Do what you're supposed to do. Remember the things that you had, whether you had a good father, and definitely remember the things if you didn't have a good father. Everybody say this: I want to give my child the life that I didn't have, or if he was going to do something bad, I'm never going to treat my child like that. So step up to the plate and be a father. I think you should go about it that way, man. Be straight up what a man is, not out of that fake shit, not of that hood shit. With the definition of a man is, and we all know what that is. Go ahead, Jack.
I just want to say this to touch on what you just said about the whole the weekend dad dudes half-assing. Me, I always get the benefit of the doubt for two reasons. I'm not gonna put them out there, but I got two homeboys that's in a real kind of like messed up situation. It's not that some men want to be the quote unquote weekend dad or the holiday dad, all that kind of stuff. Some of these moms kind of put them in those positions. That's another topic for another show, but I'm just saying. You got some brothers that will.
You 1,000% right, but I'm just talking about the real life shit. I ain't talking about the kid because I wouldn't dare defend. You feel me? The women who doing that, and I wouldn't dare defend guys who doing it the slouch way. I'm just clear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying that for clarification because that's why I was saying it for clarification because again, that's a part of parental responsibility, be it man or woman. If you got another parent and you trying to use that child as a pawn. Because I'm pretty sure some dads that do that shit too. It ain't right because the only person that loses in the end is the child. So that's basically the reason why I was making that statement to clarify because
I'm glad you said it because it wanted me to add. No, I'm glad you said it because it made me want to add this for these fellas. Fellas, you're not men either where I only want to be a dad with me and a baby mother on good terms, or whether I'm having sex. If you're going to do the father role, man, do it the correct way.
I ain't hitting it. I ain't gonna be
around.
Yeah,
it's weak.
That's some sucker shit.
So anything anybody want to say before I go to topic 3? Okay. All right. Now, sis, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna make you answer first because this is a good one. Now, listen, everybody. Do you have any just in case numbers in your phone? Now, I don't mean to put nobody on blast. Just in case. And you don't know what just in case means? I'm gonna tell you where I got this from. This is back in the day when I used to go to church.
I think I know what it means. But
Pastor Chandler was on there like a lot of y'all got some just in cases in your phone, and everybody in the church is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Just in case is you don't talk to this person at all, but anytime you feeling horny or you go through a breakup or something, you can call them just in case. You feel you want something done, a relationship to fall back on, or some sex to fall back on, or somebody to go to emotionally. So, do anybody on here have any just in case numbers in your phone? And we'll talk about what the definition really means to you, because I gave you the definition of what Pastor Chandler said. So starting off with you, sis, do you have any just in case numbers in your phone?
I used to. I used to. Now, no. Just because of the mental space that I'm in right now. More so about protecting my peace. Just making sure that I'm getting like my work done as far as like I'm on the road to making 200K. So that right now for me is my focus. But I was listening to a life coach last year because I was going through something like really bad, and I was just like, you know what, I just need some advice. And it happened to be a guy who is married, happily married. So I was just like, let me just listen to him. So I've been not recently, but I had been going through a period of celibacy. Celibacy helps you get to know who you are and what you're not going to allow. There's a song, there's also this song lyric that I really like, that I really apply to my life now. Upgrading my price, making sure you can't afford me, right? What I
Woo!
accepted in the back in the day, I'm not accepting now. And also, you can't go on my journey with me. I had to leave you where you was at. And if I bring you on my journey, I might not reach where I really need to reach in the time frame that God has for me because I decided to go against the grain, right? So I got to listen to him. So again, going back to the prayer of celibacy, that's why I had to listen to God's voice, right? I had to listen to him speaking to me. I got all these other ears around me, but I had to learn, listen to his voice and focus on what he's telling me that I need to do in order to reach the goals that I'm trying to make. And I saw myself making like a little bit of progress, but I always had that just in case number, right? Or those just in case numbers that I could just call up whenever. And then I got myself back into a stage of toxicity. I don't need that. So now it's just more so focusing on me. And now if somebody want to come along, great, that's fine. But I think it's just for me, I can't do that no more. That's just not where I'm going with my life. So they gotta stay behind.
I like that. I like that. What about you? What about you, Q? Then I'm gonna let Dre ask. What about you, Q? Do you have any just in case numbers in your phone?
Well, so I'm always cool most of the time. It's not nobody that I never had sex with that I can't go back. But
Mm,
so we're cool. I have that number, but like your sister said, I'm on my abstinence journey. So I there's no need for me to. Like it's cool. There's nothing wrong. I could go back with friends. We talk on the phone, but I'm not calling just in case.
I
So they're
like
in my
that.
phone, yes, but I don't use it for
Women
that
are being
purpose at
strong
all.
at night. You hear that? Two women back to back practicing celibacy. Y'all fellas, this in right now the era that we living in, yo. Women are looking at sexies and looking at best, and they're doing more in the bedroom. And you got two
So
beautiful women
can I
saying they
say
celibacy,
I'm not actually
all
practicing
doing something wrong.
celibacy because I'm not waiting until marriage, but I'm practicing abstinence. So I'm waiting until I have or am in a committed and serious relationship. I'm not waiting until marriage because that's celibacy. I'm just practicing abstinence.
Okay, but that still even make my point even more. You got two beautiful women on here. We live in the era of sex, and they not giving up nothing because y'all niggas don't know how to act right and identify a good woman when you have it in your hands. So all right, let's go to Drake. You feel me? Do you have any? I apologize, but do you have any just in case numbers in your phone?
No, I ain't got nothing in my phone. There's no need for me to have it in my phone. I got my girl, so my girl could be my just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying I never
I
had
like that.
before. And I mean, we all done been there before. Like, if you know, what I mean, you're in a relationship and shit don't work out. You know, what I mean, you always got that something you can fall back on. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just human nature. But me, I'm at the point in my life where I ain't trying to go backwards, man. I'm just trying to go forward.
Mm.
So if something do for say something happen and it don't work out, hey, I guess I gotta start from scratch again. You know what I mean?
I like that, man. Start from scratch. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What about you, Jack? Do you have any just in case numbers?
I got a bunch of them. So, like with me, I'm not committed to anybody. Let me be totally clear about that. So, secondly, there's only two women here on the panel, and their answers, but they definitely don't speak for the population. Because I hear a lot of women say that. That ain't true because I'm the just in case nigga in a lot of females' phones. I'm gonna just put that out there too. But when it comes
I
down
like
to it,
that.
speaking for me, yeah, there's a lot of numbers. Like if I wanted to, I could. So it's like, no, that's not why they're in my phone. But I mean, I'm a bachelor. If I decided to, I'm gonna pick up my phone and I want to try my arm and call a shorty that I used to deal with, I have access to do so. And I feel like in this society, I feel like people need to just stop lying about it because everybody want to paint themselves in this perfect light. Yo, you hear me? Men want women like that's what it is. You hear me, bro? Like me, if I wanted to pick up my phone now, it's probably three options that come to mind right now. If I just want to pick my phone and call them, I would. I'm not gonna sit here in front like, oh no, I don't have anybody. I'm practicing abstinence. Fuck no. Like if I get an urge and I decide to pick my phone, I'm gonna make that call. But I just feel like you need to be honest and embrace that and not try to, be so high and mighty. Not saying y'all to. I'm only speaking for myself as a
Because
man.
I was about to
Because I
ask you, do you
guarantee
think that we saying that because of that?
no. That's why I'm excluding you. That's why I said there's
I
only
don't
two
think
women on the planet, but y'all don't speak for the population. I'm just saying, like, I got female friends, and when we have conversations, I've literally asked that question before, like, they're like, well, I don't feel like going home tonight or whatever the case is, blah, 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 and I won't be by myself. But so, me jokingly saying, hey, pick up your phone and call the just in case you or whatever the case is, and of course they're gonna try to play perfect patty, like, well, I ain't got nobody like that. Clearly you lying, but whatever. But yeah, as for me, yes, I have options to pick up and call somebody on a just in case if that's what you want to call it. Of course I do.
Okay. All right. So, what about you? Cuz I already know the answer.
No,
but-
I got a girl, man. I probably this. I got numbers in my phone, but it ain't nobody I talk to, man. Like if I was to call somebody and shit, they'd probably be like, "What?" like, Gary?
Yeah.
like,
Who is?
yeah, because I don't talk to nobody, man. It's like one person that be trying to keep in touch with me, and she might text me every now and then to try to see how I'm doing and stuff like that. But no, I don't got nobody that I'm talking to like that. Yeah, man. I talk to my girl.
Okay. Good answer. That's a great answer. That's a good answer from everybody, Jack. Your answer is the slickest one. For me, I plead the fifth. It's like, no, I'm joking. Nah, not no more. I ain't got no more of that. Because man, I ain't gonna lie. Now this part right here gonna get me in trouble on the show. The reason why I ain't got no just in case, because girls they talk too much, man. We just can't smash and dash. You feel me? Have a good time and go about our business. They want to talk and have relationship talk and shit like that. So I go ahead and get rid of the just in case numbers. And then I felt bad when the preacher was basically giving his definition of it because it was like, yo, he basically was saying, why don't you go be with them people? I mean, you got them in your phone just in case. Every time you're done with this person to move on from that energy to this energy, you can go back to calling them, whether it's for sex or a good time or just going out for drinks. So I mean, why you don't be with them? And I'm like, God damn, man, what he's saying is some facts. So I mean, yeah, I did used to have just in case numbers. As soon as the breakup over, I mean, I was them type of guys. I need to hump on something to get over you. So yeah, I definitely went to the just in cases. You feel me a lot. But right now, nah, it's too much headache, too much bad energy, and to see that when you have sex with people, those spirits really come on you and follow you and disrupt up your whole work day. You feel me? What you got going on besides what you have with them for like 30 minutes or some shit like that. So nah, the just in case, it was fun. It was good to have. You feel me? Exciting to have, almost like I used to call that shit the Chictionary. You feel me? But other than that, nah, man, just in case. I mean, I don't know. I'm happy with what Dre said, man. Start from scratch. Get some new shit.
Yeah, when I happen to break up or something like that, I like to be by myself after that for a while.
Yeah, I definitely do. You're right about that.
I mean, it's like giving myself time to unload everything that just happened or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I take some time to myself.
What you about to say, Jack?
It's nothing wrong. It's not wrong with taking time to be by yourself. But I don't want to get it. I don't want to get it misconstrued. When you have numbers in your phone, again, they may not necessarily be for that purpose of just in case. They may not be for that purpose. It could legitimately be somebody that you just didn't take their number out your phone. Like I can speak on my situation. It's been a many a time where I've just been chilling and at random I get a text message on that like, oh hey, how you been? That hey big head type shit. That shit happened to me on a regular. Like I'm not even gonna hold it. So at the end of the day, when you like again, that's not the intention of having them in your phone. You can literally, no, I've literally, and I'm not trying. I don't want to sound like a pig when I say this. I've literally forgotten that females exist, and will get a text message from them and be like, "Oh shit, what's up? How you been?" Like I forgot. I don't forgot about her. You know what I mean? But again, that's not me. I'm not trying to be funny or macho when I say that. You move on with your life. That's not the reason why you have them in your phone. But when they hit you up, it's just like, all right, maybe I could explore this or whatever the case is. It's been 4 years or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be at the moment. But that shit is real. Like, and I feel like it's no need for nobody to feel bad about that. If that's your life's course, that's your life's course. But the other thing, somebody was like, they don't feel like dealing with the bad energy. I'm gonna tap in on that. It's another topic for another show. But I feel like this: if you are a strong enough person, everybody can't be jacked. I say this all the time. If you're a strong enough person, I don't give a damn what kind of things they got. If you serve a purpose to me in that moment, or I serve a purpose to you in that moment, that's all it is a moment. I can proceed and go back to acting like you don't fucking exist. I feel like everybody needs to be able to be strong like that. I really do. But that's just my opinion. That's not toxic at all. Why should I allow my life to be interrupted because you got feelings? What's the saying? What Jay-Z say? What you eat don't make me shit. If I'm dealing with somebody if I make the decision, remember, because at the end of the day, both people have a chance to make a decision. That means you don't have to text me, you don't have to call me, but you did. That was the decision you made. So moving therefore after that, it's on you. I'm just being real. I'm just being real.
We know exactly what they be calling for, and I ain't saying it's sex most of the time, but it's they reminiscing and they was thinking about some good things about you, and they try to see what's up.
Okay, all right.
Also,
next topic. I'm gonna let you answer first, Dre. That's a good one. I'm gonna let Dre answer first. How about this? How much have you changed? You feel me? Since your past relationships. Basically, I want to know what you learned, what you found out that you need to work on, and also things that you're not accepting. So, how have you changed since your past relationship?
To be honest, I don't know if I can say I really changed that much. I mean, I've changed somewhat. I've changed somewhat. I try to be more open-minded and less stubborn, and try to take people feelings into account. Because at one point in time, like it was my way or no way. Like it wasn't no compromising. It wasn't no budget. And I'm still kind of like that, but I tried to make an effort not to be that way. What else have I changed? I think I take things more serious. I think I'm more of a serious person now. I don't always joke and play around. And I'll probably just take the relationship overall more seriously than how I did when I was younger. Because a couple past relationships, I played around a lot. Not necessarily my last one, but the ones before then, I definitely was playing around as far as like emotions, feelings, doing what I wanted to do. And I was sloppy about it a lot of times. Like not to the point where it was like directly in their face, but they knew what the fuck I was doing. I just didn't really care about it. So I just think that I really take people's feelings into account more than what I did before.
Okay, growth, yeah.
I like that. It sounds like growth to me. Definitely sound like growth to me. All right. So what about you, Q? You up next? What have you learned from or how? Well, basically, what have you learned from past relationships? You feel me? That made you better the way you are right now.
A whole lot. um, I've been to therapy, so I learned a whole lot about me, about boundaries, about not settling, about um, accept or saying what I want and not just going with the flow and just like, but like actually setting the expectations and what I want and stating my expectations and what I want and what I'm looking for and not just assuming that, oh, because we kicking it and because we doing this, like that's what it is. Um, Communication, how to communicate more effectively, how to listen better, how to be more open to other people's side and actually hear what they're saying and try to be more understanding about what they're saying. And when I don't understand, to ask questions. That's why I say I ask a lot of questions now about a lot of stuff. I don't assume anything. Like if it's not spoken, it's not done. Like I literally ask a thousand and one questions. um, because I just need to know. I found out, I guess, what works for me and what I need and how what I need to be able to be my best person or to be the best person that I can be. Um, so I learned a lot.
I hear it. I hear it. That's what's up. That's what's up. So, what about you? You up next, sis? Tell me how much have you grown and how much you learned from your previous relationships.
Um, I learned to be more accountable for myself, also for others around me, right? So when I say like for others around me, holding them accountable to the standards that I have for this relationship. You stepping out on me, all right, bet cool. Ain't no second chance. We're done. Because I continue to allow you to cheat on me, or that one time I take you back, I feel like you're not really gonna appreciate who I really was to you. So now you just gonna have to miss out at that point because you should appreciate it. And so I'm not gonna keep giving you that access to me. You've missed out, right? Um, I would say to listen better. And when I say listen better, listen to what men are really saying, right? So I used to be a person that a guy would tell me, all right, yeah, I'm not looking for nothing serious, but we doing relationship shit. So I'm assuming in my mind, because we doing a relationship shit, all right, we gonna get to a relationship.
I said it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So listen to what they saying. And then so now I've applied that now, and niggas do not like that same treatment. But it is what it is. I learned about confusion, right? So when I say confusion, when there's confusion and I need clarity, that's all the clarity that I need right there. Because if we're not trying to be boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, then what we doing? If that's what I want to be, again, you gotta go. It's real strict over here. I don't know if y'all feel like that, but it's really strict over here. I really don't play no games because people just been playing games since I've been in my 20s. I am quite literally over it. So I just can't do it. Um, and then what else? What else did I learn? Um, I would say I learned to be, I'm a very open-minded person, but I also just learned to be like, it's not my way or the highway. And that's probably like one of the hardest lessons that I probably had to learn because I'm I'm very spoiled. I've been spoiled. My parents spoiled me. My family spoils me. So I've always gotten my way. So it's really hard to like navigate that in relationships. Um, so I try to take the back burner just a little bit to try to understand like where you're coming from and all of that. But I also learn to not always give people the benefit of the doubt because it don't benefit me. And I always give the wrong people the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, nah, I gotta really like learn to. I feel like I have a good judgment of character because my body knows, but I fight against it. Because I'm not gonna say I'm really spiritual, but I'm really connected like with myself. That's something that I've been taking pride on for the past couple years, just really getting to know myself. And sometimes people be like, man, you just be ghosting me. And I feel like it's just my subconscious is telling me that person not really it. But I be fighting against the grain and I continue to still like deal with it. But now I'm just really starting to just learn, follow your intuition, trust your gut because it's never going to steer you wrong.
Okay. Next up, you Jack. You feel me? What have you learned? I mean, you got the mic. Go ahead.
Jackson, we sing that shit.
Yeah.
I would say my biggest takeaway from my past relationship was to well, I've always been one to set boundaries. Cause like I said, my first thing is I do right by myself. Yeah, I want everybody to do right by me, but you got to do right by yourself first. So I don't just set boundaries. I've always set boundaries, but I don't just set boundaries. I set fucking roadblocks. Because if you're not going to do what it is that I require, then you got to get far the fuck away from me. It's as simple as that. So, I'm always one of those persons that's really, really thorough when it comes down to when I'm talking to a woman because like women try to play the mind games with us sometimes. It's not so much of them asking questions. They just gotta ask the right questions, that type shit. As a man, I'm always thorough. So I'm like, all right, look, if this is what we doing, you need to have a clear understanding on where I stand. And I'll give her the same grace to let me know the problem that I would say that I will often encounter is the fact that most people can't take me at 100%. So, if there's any woman that's interested in being with me romantically or otherwise, you gotta have some thick skin, baby girl. Like you gonna have to, because I'm only coming at you with 100, and I'm only gonna be real with you. I don't have time to like don't get it twisted. I will listen to your feelings. I will listen to your concern, but I'm gonna meet you with logic. The emotional part, I can empathize with you, but only for so far. So these are all lessons that I learned from my last relationships. Like I said, I can be honest with you. If you can't handle it, then I'm not the guy for you. I can empathize with you, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like I'm not gonna be in open book club with you. I'm not about to sit there and cry with you and all that. I'm not doing all that. We're gonna dodge through and we're gonna get through whatever this is. And like I said, the biggest thing is to set not just boundaries but roadblocks. She said something that was interesting. She said, increase your worth till you can't afford me, right? I feel like that should be a universal thing because a lot of people say they're trying to protect their peace, when in actuality, they're trying to escape accountability. And there's definitely a difference between the two. So when I was in a relationship, a lot of times I would say, I got to start with me, look in the mirror and see where, all right, Jack, you fucked up here, you fucked up here, you fucked up here. And I got to take that as a man. So when I'm calm and I revisit the conversation and sit down and talk to my woman and say, look, babe, this happened and I didn't like this, blah, blah, blah. I was met with the total opposite. So everything was on me and you didn't want to take none of the blame, even though you played a part in it. So that's why I am the way that I am now. So being single, I'm totally fucking fine with that. Like I'm good with that. If there's a woman out there that has thick skin and she can take the healthy, constructive criticism and we can bounce ideas off each other and come to the table and mutually agree on things and have a conversation where it's not a fallout and it's not going to last the whole day, that's more so what I'm looking for. That's not what I had in my previous relationship. So the things that I learned, my biggest takeaway, the things that made me change, I'm a hell of a lot more stern in terms of my stance. I'm not going to allow you to just settle for being mad. If you're going to be mad, then we don't need to talk. If you're going to stay mad, correction. You can be upset, but it got to be a momentary thing. We got to get over this. If you want to wallow in it, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. I'm not going to accept that because we missing out on a lot of major stuff that we could be doing that's constructive and conducive to our relationship rather than beefing over this one little minute point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my takeaway. And when you get a chance, I need you to look in the comment section of right here. I was looking at like a lot of the heart emojis going up and all that kind of stuff. I just kind of like think it's cool when we have these conversations and people that agree with the points that we're making versus the ones that don't. That tells you a lot about them. So I mean, that's why you gotta set those boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You're right. All right, so you next up, cuz what have you learned from all your previous relationships?
Mm. Man, I guess how to be straight up, man. And when what I want for me and shit, to draw that line in the sand, and it is what it is, or whatever. I'm gonna get somebody that's gonna be along with what I'm with, or whatever. Not to be taken. I mean, all right, pipe this. All right, I used to be like Mr. Nice Guy and shit. Yeah, I mean, and you know how they be like nice guys finish last and shit. Like that shit was real for me. Cause being nice ain't get me nothing but my motherfucking heart broke. Yo, for real, man. Like thinking you're supposed to be extra nice all the time and all that and shit. Like now, man, I treat people accordingly. I treat you accordingly, or whatever. I ain't just being nice just because you're a woman. You know, whatever. And not to say that I'm being an asshole or nothing like that, but I'm just not Mr. Nice Guy no more. I don't even like that term for real. Like, cause like being nice, man, get you stomped on. You gotta be, you're a man. You gotta be direct. You gotta be, you know what you want. You gotta know what you want. And when you know what you want, you say what you want. And if the other person ain't going for it, then they go ahead about their business. I go ahead about mine. And it's okay at the end of the day, man. I used to get real frustrated and stuff like that and upset at things that was going on to me or whatever until I started taking accountability for what my fault was in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started doing that and just stop falling for the dumb stuff, like, man, and saying straight up what's on my mind and what I want, and saying what's on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You can say what's on your mind and you don't gotta be no dickhead about it, or whatever. Be straight up, say what's on your mind. Stop being so nice. That was what I learned, or whatever. And when I did that, things started falling in place for me. I mean, you can't. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm like, if you don't know me, you might think I'm a certain way or whatever. But the people that my cousin, my girlfriend sitting right here, people that know me know how I am or whatever. I just don't go for no dumb stuff, man.
Great answers as always, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Today, Lord says you impressed me. I mean, this is the new generation woman. She's under the age of 30. You feel me? And she's saying all old lady answers, and I love it right there. That should go to show y'all right there. Not all these young 20-year-olds trying to be Nicki Minaj, K. Michelle, or Young Miami. There's some young women that's really trying to be a classy woman, a classy mother, a woman of the world. So I gotta give respect where it's due. Far as for me, what I've learned, to be more considerate, be more open to your feelings, be more understanding. Don't think that only my fun is the only fun that we should have in a relationship. Because I mean, to me, I'm not. Sometimes the fun that girls have be boring to me, or I don't want to do. But it's the relationship is not all my fun. You got to do some of the things. So I'm glad I'm more open to that. Like I said, more understanding and more willing to listen. But gotta go with this dude said. Shit. And just like what Jack said, I like his answer the most. It was real strong, powerful. I mean, what I really learned was I'm going to speak up for myself. I'm not just going to let you dictate the relationship because you are the woman, because the sex is good, or because we got a good thing going on. No, my feelings matter just like yours do. And I know that the females lead from the emotional side, and us guys lead from the logic. But I have emotions too. You feel me? And it's not just because my logic ability is higher. Well, shit, when my emotions on the line, my feelings is on the line, I want them shits to count. I want you to hear where I'm coming from. Understand what I mean. Because as far as me and being in a relationship, I don't never take advantage of anyone. Disrespect anyone. Never try to get over any type of situation. So when it's time for me to speak my feelings, I'm saying something legit. I'm not just beefing for no reason or causing no distraction or anything trying to mess up the relationship, anything like that. So like I said, I learned to speak up for myself more, to be more intelligent in my relationship. Understand there's going to be times where there's going to be weaknesses, where she not doing good, I'm not doing good, and you still got to grow beyond it and not just give up right away. So I learned a lot. You feel me? I learned a lot from the man that I was dealing with, and not to deal with them now. Prime example, the shorty I deal with right now, like it's good. It's no problem. You feel me? Good conversation. I can open up with shit like that. So I mean, really no problem on my behalf. So I definitely learned a lot from my past relationships, and definitely from this guy telling me, "Yo, stop having sex with these girls. Talk to them. Get to know them. Don't just have sex with them.
You want a relationship? You want a relationship?
Not even a relationship. Even if I just want to have sex.
I mean, take your time.
Take your time,
man.
Yeah.
Get to know people.
I gotta give him a shout out.
That's my main thing, man. Take your time. Get to know people. It don't matter if y'all just friends or not. Get to know people, because it's to the point now with me. If you ain't right and with that type of energy around me and shit, I'm not fucking with you. I'm not. I'm just not. That's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, and that's what I'm on too. Like that's another thing I learned too. And it's crazy that he brought his mother a relationship before she was messing with Uncle P. They was together from this nigga was 5 to 17. That's one thing I learned too. Yo, just because you in a relationship with a person that long, yo, that really don't mean you're gonna be with them forever. And I realized that shit, like, yo, I'm no longer doing that. Yo, just because we got love and some good moments in a relationship, if this shit don't go the way I wanted to go and it's really going bad, like I said, I'm a fair person down the line. I never try to get over. If it's not, I don't give a fuck. We had been together 5 years, 3 months, 6 months, 7 years. Nigga, if I'm done, I'm done. You feel me? And I'm happy that I don't do that shit no more, where I used to carry on relationships because of the people around me was happy that I was in a relationship, being committed, doing the right thing. So I'm more on that level, like, shit, nigga, fuck y'all. You feel me? And fuck them. That's straight like that. Straight like that.
I mean, yeah.
Just keeping it real.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Time don't equal happiness.
2 more topics.
And I ride it.
Facts.
I ride in my lane, man. Either you riding, we gonna ride together, or we ain't riding together.
All right. Next topic. Next topic right here. Let me see what it says. No, we're gonna do the last topic because we already been on here for an hour. Right?
I like people that think like me, or some, you know what I mean, not think like me, but just that energy that you get from people or whatever. All right. Whatever. I like that type of stuff. So last topic of the night. Have you ever tried to be with somebody, right? But they were just too immature. And it always fucks my head up when it's somebody, especially our age, that's immature. So have you ever had a thing for somebody? They look good, got swag and all that, but the motherfucker just immature. So since you hold your chin like this, so I'm gonna let you go. Has there ever been a situation where a nigga was just too immature and you like, nigga, you ain't. It's gonna be a
Yes. And I feel like for my generation specifically, I just feel like that's all the niggas. And that's really bad to say, because I know it's not all of them, but the niggas that I've interacted with, y'all still doing the same shit.
We can stop representing
from 3 years ago. What did you do? You bought more sections. You bought more bottles at the club, but you ain't got shit to show for it. No, go get some money. Go get I don't know. Now for me, it was one motherfucker that I just got rid of. He just couldn't fucking get it. And I'm just like, for him, he was 26. I'm 27. I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? So I tried to meet him where he was at. Right. I tried to meet him where he was at, as far as, okay, maybe you got like some father issues because his father was not in his life. Right. Okay, let's try to work through this. I'm no longer doing that. That is not my spiritual calling, to help you in that aspect, or to show you what love kid. That's not my question no more. I'm not doing it. You need to come to me a little bit healed, a little bit. I'm not saying fully, but a little bit so that you can understand like what's really going on. Jack, I know you brought up like emotional intelligence, how it's a terminology that that just really came about or whatever. No, that's the real thing. I learned about emotional intelligence in the workplace when I was like 22, 23. So that's where I got introduced to it, because I have a whole book right here in my nightstand about it. So I kind of let that be my guide. Now, granted, it's for the workplace, but I applied it to like my relationships and my friendships and all of that, because emotional intelligence is a real thing. If you don't know how to manage your own emotions and to learn how to read the room, it ain't gonna work out well for you, buddy. It's just not. And Maurice, I know that you talked about, you were learning how to be more considerate. That was this nigga's problem. He didn't know how to be considerate at all. Now, I was the breadwinner in this relationship.
That's a lot of young.
And I will say this also, going back to the last topic just for a second, date within your tax bracket, please, because dating below, it ain't gonna work. But I just don't know. Like, and like I said, I really tried to be open-minded. The nigga, he was fathering a kid. I don't date men with kids because, again, speaking back to my spoiledness, when you got your kid and I want to see you, guess what? I want to see you. Now, I get it, because I've been that child where, I gotta go see my dad on the weekend and he might got somebody, right? And she had to take the back burner. I understand that. But since I don't got no kids, I feel like I shouldn't have to deal with that. And I was really just trying to meet him where he was at. I was really trying, but it just was not working, because I'm like, you doing dumbass shit. Like, you're not even thinking before you act. And now I know that men react and then think about it later, and then be sitting there looking like, hey, I gotta tell you something, and you got this egg on your face. No, like, if you were considerate before you act, then you're gonna, hey, look, listen, I'm gonna at least explain my decision that I would like to make to you and get your opinion on it. Because once you're in a relationship, it's no longer about you. You need to be thinking about your partner as well. Whatever move that you make, you have to consider your partner in whatever aspect. And he just wasn't doing that. And I was just like, you know what? Nah, like we gotta dead this. Like we just have to. And I was like, I gotta just love myself more, because why am I going through this? And one thing that I like to say, this might sound a little toxic, but this is really real. To everybody out there, do not let your significant other get in the way of finding your husband, because that they be in the way. You might be obsessed with this one nigga, this one female, whatever case may be, but they in your way, and you gonna miss your opportunity to, greatness, because you so caught up on this person over here, and they not really bringing no type of value to your life. So yeah, I just couldn't do it. He had to go. So, and it's funny because I got to see him next weekend, and I'm gonna get my hair done. I'm gonna be cute. So we're gonna see how they go. But
okay. Next up, Dre, and then we're gonna let Q answer. Go ahead, Dre. Have you ever dealt with an immature female? And you feel me? Or have you dealt with an immature female and you wanted her to get it right, but she ain't never get it right?
I mean, yeah, I think everybody has dealt with somebody immature at one point in time in their life or whatever, and it can be annoying and nerve-wracking because you try to work with them and you try to be patient, but for some reason they just seem they can't get right. For some reason they just can't get right. For I don't know what it is, and you try to work with them and you try to guide them and tell them what they need to do, but for some reason, I mean, I guess maybe it's just in them. That's just how they are. Maybe they just immature by nature. And it's not exactly it's not what you do, it's like how you do it. Like just little petty dumb stuff. Like, I don't know, just reading into things the wrong way. Like, you know how you can say something to somebody and they take that shit totally left. Like what? Oh, what? Huh? Like, dude, those words didn't even come out
Like
my
I
mouth.
didn't even say that.
Yeah, like little crazy shit. So I mean, it could be definitely nerve wracking. I mean, if they willing to listen and work on it, then you might can get through it. But if they not and they willing to continue to show the same patterns over and over and over again, it's best to get far away from it as possible. Because you're gonna wind up driving yourself crazy trying to deal with that shit.
That last part, driving yourself crazy. You up next, Q. Have you ever dealt with somebody that was immature?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I have. I mean, looking back at it, how my baby father was immature. You know what I mean? But I tried to make the situation work for what it worked. But that's one thing that I learned too. Like, I'm not trying to force no situations. Like, I learned, you know, I was with him and I was trying to like, give him grace and trying to work with him and trying to, but all you do is end up wasting your time and it's pointless and like it is what it is. So I see how you are now and it's like I don't want no parts of it. Like if I see a sign of immaturity, I'm like, yeah, we good.
Good. Wow. Wow. I mean, I like her answer definitely for real. Don't stay long with it. Don't stay long with the bullshit. Go ahead. You up next, Jack. Have you ever dealt with an immature female?
Absolutely. Like more so for me, it was a thing of um just being attracted to somebody and then getting to know them, and then like the subtle signs just started like dropping in the net. So here's the irony in that. So somebody in the comment section was like, being too understanding makes you waste your time. So sister said, don't let what you say, don't let your boyfriend stop finding your husband or whatever you say, the
Mhm.
family ties and stuff, right? Here's the irony in this. When you met when you meet a woman, I'm now I'm explaining my scenario. You meet a woman, okay, it starts from just like the optics, what you see. You get to know her and you realize she got some damage to her. A lot of times men we kind of get judged for like saying what we see. I think it's funny that she made it, and I'm not trying to pick on you, Shaneer, I'm not. When you make that statement, it's like men have to kind of give women that grace to kind of like, let things develop and see if these things are going to change. But by her definition, when she just said, like, all right, if he doing this, I'm gonna look past him to go find like what I want. But it's like men aren't given that same grace. I feel like
So
certain
I'll
signs
say
of
for
immaturity
me,
come when I'm sorry,
I give him grace. I'm saying for me, I give him a little bit of grace, right? So
right,
that's what I mean as far as going back to I think Q said it, don't stay too long, right? And that
right,
kind of goes into time with don't let your man, don't let your man or your significant other get in the way of finding your husband because you might be like, okay,
I see what she said.
he fucked up this one time and you immediately gone. No, 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 no. Give somebody a
A
little
lot
bit
of
of
shit.
grace to fuck up, right?
right.
Give them a chance to
So
try
what
to
I
fix it.
yeah,
That's all I'm
I was
saying.
only taking the quote that you saying because I hear a lot of sisters say that, but they do the opposite of what you just said. That's basically what I was just explaining.
Got you. Okay.
Men typically have to like if you get one red flag, and you see like shorty immature, like okay, my example, I was saying, I met a shorty, I used to work with her, whatever the case is, like she been through some things in her past and she's scarred now, like present day because of it. You know what I mean? So when she and I, at the time that she and I was talking, we was cool, she just displayed a lot of those things, whereas though she was like taking it out on me.
Mhm.
Now, I personally feel like that's a sign of immaturity because you didn't allow yourself any growth to learn the lessons from where you were in the past. I never gave you a reason to do any of those things to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I realized that a relationship wasn't going to be in the cards or whatever. We can be friends, we can be cool, but I'm again, even being my friend, you got to be able to take the accountability when I'm telling you, like, shorty, now you know that's wrong. I'm gonna talk to you to help you through your situation. But in a lot of cases, most people don't want to hear what you got to say because that requires them to change. So I say that to say this. Yes, I have dealt with somebody that was immature, and my only course of action was simply just to distance myself from that situation to let them know, like, yo, I'm no better than the guy that did all this stuff to you. I can be a real nigga and help you through your situation, but we friends. It ain't nothing. It can never be nothing more than that. And you gotta stand on your square with that. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't do that because the actuality of it is they not even mature enough to handle the situation. So while you giving out the free judgment that somebody else is mature, they not either. So as for me, yes, I have dealt with somebody immature, but that was the way that I solved the problem. I befriended this person and let her know, like, yo, from a man's perspective, because she trying to look for a man, but I'm letting you know, like, these things that you holding on to, these past hurts and all that kind of stuff, and all you gonna do is go into another relationship and bleed on that nigga, and he not gonna want to be with you either. So I feel like in that light, people in general need to mature and from that aspect. Like, and that's more prevalent these days now.
Okay.
People need to go to therapy. Stop using your significant other as your therapist. That's not what they're there for. They can listen to some of your problems, but they're not your punching bag and they're not your therapist. Go take some accountability. Go to therapy. You're not going to be considered crazy.
Seek help.
Yes, seek help. That is a real thing. Go seek help.
Call 1-800. What's the number? 1-800. It's like,
because you gotta make sure you're good first before you can even pour into somebody else. If your cup is empty, you're not pouring into nobody.
Hey, but you know what, Shanira, you're right though. In terms of the therapy
thing. I mean, sure, yeah. I think we all had, man. Shit, at one point, I might have been the motherfucker that might have a story or something. I don't think I ever did nothing too stupid or whatever. But as far as yeah, man, it was. I mean, just thinking, I was, me and the person friendship was cooler than what it was, and shit. And then finding out, all right, we wasn't that cool. It is what it is. Damn, I don't really want to put nobody out there.
You ain't saying the name or the initials, say your situation. That's all it is.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I was straight up and up front about what I thought. Shoot, I was like, I ain't trying to be serious at the time. I was like, I ain't trying to be serious with nobody or whatever. We could just keep it like, how it is or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it turned out that she did some different shit, and I'm like, that's cool. I mean, I helped out with some stuff or whatever, and I just thought we was cooler than what we was. I mean, she was just on a bunch of like how you just say. I think I was saying I'm gonna make a T-shirt that just say some people just don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't know how else to say it. Like some people just don't get it, man. Like, and you gotta let them go ahead and be who they gonna be. Shit. I get away from them, man. Okay. I don't deal with it. Yeah, they're immature, definitely. Yeah.
Great answers as always. Jack always be saying some major words that I like for real, especially the shit when he said annoying, nerve-wracking. I mean, it can get to that. Don't you know how they say all coochie ain't good coochie, you feel me? And all shit ain't worth going after. I never forget one time I'm in that hour, you feel me? This long time ago, long time ago. I was at that hour, you feel me? And it was the shorty looking good as I don't know what, Lord Youngin, you feel me? I probably would say I was like maybe 5 or 6 years older than her at the time. This is when I was like 30 or something. So I mean, everything going good. We have a nice time, you feel me? We having sex, we doing it. But shorty like to just always used to joke around and wrestle all the time, just like for no reason. And I mean, it's a time and place for that. You feel me? Where it is cool, but it would be
just too much.
It's just too much. Tickle a nigga for no reason. Want to climb on a nigga for no. I'm like, it would be the fucking gymnasium or something. Like, chill out, just lay down, sit down. You feel me?
How old was she?
I probably was 30, so she probably was like 25. You feel me? It was just mad. Okay. And then it was like this. Every time she came to my job, she thought that she was supposed to get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich from the bagel, the bacon, egg, and cheese bagel from McDonald's. Every time she caught, and I'm sitting up here like, God, like, sure, I understand you hungry. I got you, but every time you come down here, I want a bagel. I want a bagel.
Eat sometimes for you.
Yeah, nigga. It's like I ain't gonna say what you could eat, but anyway, it was that all the time, and it was like it wasn't like how a real relationship, when a woman hungry, she hungry, a nigga gonna bother, she gonna say something to him. Not, yo, every time I come down here, I get a free sandwich. You feel me? Come with the dick. It was like some kid shit. And like I said, like the joke and wrestle all the damn time. And it was like the first show I ever messed with who didn't even had no like plan for the future, was trying to do anything. Most women I always come across to, he was always intelligent and knowing what they wanted to do with their life. They had something going on or had something going on. Well, they had a plan for something that was going on in the future. And this shorty was just cool with just having fun playing around. And I was like, yo, hell no, yo. I ain't just trying to have fun. I mean, it's cool to have fun in your relationship, but that right there, just being the whole concept of the relationship or the whole basis of just fun, immature, young shit. Let's smoke all day. Let's drink every Friday and all that shit. I mean, it was cool the first couple times because y'all know how it is with that fresh shit. But after that, man, it was just too young, too childish, too broke. I hate messing with broke girls, broke ass motherfucker. I swear to God. And I don't even need you to buy me nothing. Just make sure you got to buy your shit sometime. But I hate a broke ass girl. And then y'all got the nerve to be sexy and broke. That shit was pissing me off. But yeah, I ghost
sexy and broke.
Yeah, sexy and broke. I just ghosted her. I ain't even never hit her back no more. I mean, shit. That was a steak, bacon niggas and cheese bagel like every other day out there, motherfucker. Had me think she wasn't eating. You feel me? Until she came to see me. But nah, that was the most immature female I ever dealt with. I would never do that shit ever again. That's why I mess with women younger than me. I always like messing with women my age or way older than me. For some reason, they experience fine wine, great mileage, because there's some cars out there with good mileage that ain't busted and beat up. But anyway, that's the rest of the show for the night. You feel me? We're going to go around the bit, everybody tell them where they can find them at. You feel me? Let them know what they got going. Go ahead and start off, Jack. Tell people what you got going on, where they can find you at.
On Facebook and Instagram, Jack Gaines. All the time. Keep being great, everybody.
All right, I'm skipping over my sister because I don't want y'all niggas to follow her. So go ahead and say it. All right, go ahead. All right, my bad. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
I'm not really on Facebook, so I'm not gonna tell you any of that information. But Twitter and Instagram, Niriana. That's it. That's where you can find me at. And if you're on TikTok, I'm on TikTok too.
All right. Next up, the lovely Q. Go ahead.
Facebook, Q Cutie Jones. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. It's all the same. Q Cutie Jones or a dope ass chick. So it's pretty much it.
All right, Big Drake.
You already know where you can catch me. I'll be at your mama's house.
Oh, man, as always, LBGS 360, man, all platforms. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Man, we don't really mess with Twitter. I don't know, should we? Shit.
I mean,
I
shit.
don't know. I mean, we might get into Twitter. I don't know. But like I said, Cash App, same thing. Man, hit us up, man. Don't just look at us on here, man. Support us on them other platforms because we trying to do some things on those. Excuse me. We try to do some things on those other platforms too. So look us up, follow us on those platforms too, man.
As always, man. I'm Ari Savage.
KG Williams.
This has been another episode of That's the Way Love Goes. We'll be back at it next week, next Thursday. And next Thursday, y'all definitely gonna want to watch. There's ladies' night. You feel me? Ladies get to come on here, talk their shit, and I got some great questions for y'all. You feel me? For them ladies. So,
and also we got to do the fellas.
Oh yeah, we got repeat fellas night. Don't worry about it.
That shit got that.
Yeah,
got fucked up.
But as always, man, we'll see y'all next week. Good night, everybody.
Bye.